And first things first, I would like to say before I get started, nobody wants to see these brands fail. Nobody wants to see these brands go under off the cliff. Nobody's against women or women heroes, superheroes. Let's just get that out the way, because we have a lot of different groups out here that's clashing out here in these movie streets. And it's been getting really ugly. And we have man against women, gender wars, man trying to want to get their spot back, women's trying to take over their spot, and we just need to all come together, shake hands, and make friends. We want to get Disney, Marvel, Star Wars back to making quality movies, what the fans ask for, not to push an agenda, not to push a message. Once again, this is not about going against anybody. This is not about trashing, bashing another group of people. This is about bringing us back together. How can we get back together? How can we get back to the spot where everybody was successful and we were running on all cylinders? Can we get back to those good old days? That's what I'm trying to create here. I'm trying to make peace with people. But some people will lash out at you and say, oh, you're against me, this, you're against me. No. It's none of that. It's how did we get to this spot where Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars are saying, hey, we need the man to come back because we know we messed up, but we can't say we messed up because it's going to hurt other people's feelings, because you feel like they feel like you're hired them and now you're neglecting them. And that's not the case at all. What I figured out and came to the conclusion that Star Wars tried to make a Star Wars woman universe. Now that right there, it blew everybody's mind, because Disney bought two of the biggest male dominant franchises, was Marvel and Star Wars. It was like what, 80 to 85% male dominant. What, you got like 10 to 20%, female audience that's going to go to the movies with their husband or boyfriend or their family. Like, so you mean to tell me you're going to take these big franchises that made bangers all these years down the pipeline, all these years of all these Marvel movies, since Endgame and down, since Star Wars, every franchise went from the 70s. Like, this is crazy that we are living in a time where they are trying to flip and twist everything that we grew to like and love as children, as kids. We grew up on these shows. And you're gonna try to make Star Wars a woman brand, Marvel MCU universe. Like, this ain't what we asked for. They tried to make the Acolyte, Ahsoka, a Rey movie, Obi-Wan Kenobi. They try to put a woman boss. See, they trying to push these agendas on us to make us accept it so that they can do what they want to do and rewrite everything the way they want to write it, instead of sticking to source material like back in the good old retro days. What we love, what we had fun with when we were actually outside touching grass. You know what I'm saying? Like, you hire these nerds to do their job and they bring their own, vision to your studio. This ain't what we did. This ain't what we signed up for. We're like, man, listen, you can take you and your agenda and shove it. Just go out the back door. Yeah, get clean your desk out. This ain't what we want. We want to get back to source material. I'm sorry, but you have to be hard. You have to be hardcore now, because we have people in Hollywood, in the movie industry, in the gaming industry that do not mind destroying your brand. Look at Sweet Baby Inc. They messed up Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game. They messed up Concord on PlayStation, flopped in like 2 weeks. The game was dead on arrival. Suicide Squad dead on arrival. They have so many more coming down the pipeline. They had to cancel some games because of male gazing. Ain't that stupid? In the gaming industry, it's a few games that got canceled. One of them was recently, I think, Perfect Dark. They made this girl look so ugly. She just looked so butt ugly in the face. And from the 360 and even I think the Nintendo 64, however far Perfect Dark goes back, she looked beautiful in those games. Now, when male gazing came out, they're doing everything to just split the fan base from Disney, Star Wars, Marvel, superheroes, your favorite heroes in Star Wars. Like, I'm still waiting on a Darth Vader. Where's Skywalker? Where's Anakin? You know, you can give the princess, you can give Rey, you can give all them movies. We can do that. We can do that, but we have to do it in an orderly fashion and make it make sense. These stories ain't making sense to the fan base. And if they don't, people are going to walk out. They're walking. They're going to get there. They're going to pack up and leave. And that's what's going on. Everybody's looking for a new industry, a new streaming service, subscription service to bounce to. And that's why I think everybody's going over to HBO Max for the Peacemaker. They're going to DC. Look at Superman. Definitely going to touch on that soon. Superman hit a 600 mil mark. Why ain't Star Wars and Marvel movies really hitting the popularity there? Because they ain't sticking to source material. They ain't sticking to comics with Marvel, and they definitely ain't sticking to source material with Star Wars. Like I said before, they want to turn it into a woman universe. Nobody asked for that. The fans are pissed off. I just came across this video with this content creator, and he was reading out the article, and he was basically saying now Disney and Star Wars, now they want to win the man audience back. Now, after you shoved them out the door, you shoved them out the back door and moved all women, feminists, activists in. You moved them in and moved all the men out to push an agenda because the last administration was funding all these woke activist projects. And it's like, now you destroy your brand and now you want us back. We want to like the brand. We want to love the brand. We want to have fun with everybody and celebrate and have a good time watching these shows with our family and friends and have something to talk about and compare to the good old days, to the old school, to the new school. But now we can't do that because they're taking it away. Everything is about woke. It's like, if it ain't an agenda behind it, if the message is not bigger than the source material, they're not going to do it. They're going to scrap it, throw it away in the trash, put it in the blender. like they don't want to do it. And we's like, oh, now after your bank account takes a hit, after your stocks crash, after the fan base pull back hundreds, if not millions, hundred thousands, if not millions of fans left the franchise, now you want to try to win Gen Z back because, you know, millennials, Gen X, boomers, all them probably, they already checked out of Star Wars probably a while ago, a long time ago. Checked out because they can't do it. Bro, you are stressing your own fan base out. Like, you are stressing your fan base out and you think it's cute, it's funny, you know. You're behind your desk calling the shots. You're at the top of the mountain. You billionaires and trillionaires like BlackRock and Vanguard and someone else. Billionaire on their yacht, you know, fishing, you know, on their private jets and private islands, probably in Las Vegas gambling. Ain't worrying about the franchise crashing and collapsing because they want other people to run it. They say Disney don't even really have their studios like that together. Other people run it, shareholders. And so if you have other billionaires and trillionaires running your company, they're going to run it into the ground because that's not what they specialize in. Writing, good source material, sticking to stories. They're just saying, push something out, throw something out there that I want to see. The billionaires, they say that they want to see, not what the fans would like to see. The customer's always right, from what I was told, right? You're saying you want to see what you want to see. That's an agenda. You don't care about you don't care. You want to push your agenda. That you don't care about your fan base, and now you want man back. Everybody is talking about it. It went viral. So now all the men are like, okay, you got rid of all the men. You say you don't need men. You have all this feminist movement. You moved them into Disney. You specially moved them to the top rankings to take completely over the studio because you want to turn it to a little Disney princess. I was a clownfish. Somebody was talking about it. They want to turn it to a Disney princess story in between Marvel and Star Wars. They want Disney. That's why I say they want to kill off competition. Disney felt like they were falling behind because Marvel was banging. They were booming. They was running on all cylinders. Star Wars running on all cylinders. And you always got to have somebody prideful, with a pride and ego. It's ego driven. It's like, no, I want my brand to be better. Being that I bought them, I want to bring the Disney DNA to Marvel and Star Wars too, and see if they like it. But you forced everybody away. You pushed everybody away, and that's what we've been trying to tell them for the longest. When you do that, you're going to push us away. You're trying to make a woman Star Wars universe. Make it make sense, people. We need some answers. We really do. We like, I'm lost. I really don't understand, where did this come from? Where did this ego come from? Who's in Hollywood decided to come over here to Disney, family friendly movies, and just woke it up. Like I said before, Snoop Dogg don't even want to go to another Disney movie because they were pushing an agenda. Two moms had a kid, and he was like, he didn't know how to explain that to his grandkid because it put him on the spot. And then you got these other woke activists coming out, lashing out, saying we're going to cancel Snoop Dogg. For what? For being honest? That's why we ended up in the spot that we're in now, because people can't handle the truth. This is what happens. You destroy your brand. You run your brands into the ground. People cannot handle the truth. When you tell them the truth, they can't handle it. They say they want the truth, but when you actually give them the truth, they can't handle it. They can't. They really can't. They need a therapist. Like I said before in my last video, these people need help. They need a therapist. You can't have an adult conversation without getting in your feelings. You need specialized help. Something is wrong with you. You're not fully developed in the mind somewhere. You don't have self-control. You have a problem with communication. You can't receive it, but you can give it. That is an issue there. That is something is messed up. You have some screws loose somewhere along the line. You got dropped on your head as a child or something. Like something is wrong up there, upstairs. If you cannot comprehend what your fan base want. Star Wars do not want a bunch of women characters taking over their franchise, and it's not woman dominant. It's never been like that. The man is supposed to be the leader. That's what it was for. Man to save things, man to create things, man to develop things. And the woman was the helpmate to help it get better, not to take over and push the man out of the way. We're supposed to work together, and they can't comprehend that because it's ego driven. It's pride in these people. These people don't like us. This is what the enemy do when they come into your business. They destroy everything under new management. They want to do it their way. Once again, that's pushing an agenda. So I'm going to destroy Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars without feeling any remorse, because you told me I was allowed to do that. You hired me to push an agenda. You hired me to spread a message, to send a message, and not stick to source material. This is what you hired me for. You didn't hire me to stick to X-Men comic books, Star Wars, if they had comic books or source material from back in the 70s to now. You didn't hire me for that. You hired me to push a message, to send a message for my groups, for the feminist group, for the woke groups, for the anti-straight groups, the anti-groups that's against straight people. This is what's going on, to push an agenda. Woman empowerment, feminist groups. This is what they hired. And we're wondering why we have all this confusion going on at these studios, at the front office, up there at Disney. Because that's who you got to blame. You can't blame like all the way Marvel and Star Wars, because they're working for a boss at the top that's in his office calling the shots. Destroying the brand, running it into the ground. And now you want man back. Now you want Gen Z's back. You might get a few millennials back because they want to see, everybody don't want to see them fail. That's another thing I like to say. Nobody's against women heroes, superheroes. We don't want to see these brands fail. Let's get that completely out of the way. So you guys already know what to do, man. Smash that like button, click that notification bell, subscribe so you guys can be notified on all of the new latest and greatest news out here in these streets. Peace.